Most people eat just to cope with stress, sleep, and boredom. If you're one of those people and you're trying to stop that behavior, this video is for you. Hi, my name is Rosemary and welcome to Mind Your Comida. On today's video, I'm going to be taking you through the steps that I've personally used to stop emotional eating for good. So let's get into it. So the first thing to have in mind is your identity. This is the first step because if you don't get this, then the next few steps, they won't work for you. You will go back and fall back to your old ways of being because you haven't changed this one thing. Who you have been being up until now versus the vision of who you want to become. So in order to see where you are at now in terms of your identity, we need to take a step back. This is what I always say, and it trips people up a little bit, that the first step isn't to take away the junk food out of your house. The first step is to write down and track down for at least 2 weeks what are the emotions that have been causing you to grab the junk food in the first place. Before you go and do that behavior, how do you feel? What has been going on? How do you feel about yourself? Do you feel like no sirves para nada? Like, do you feel like you've done everything wrong today? Do you feel sad? Do you feel angry? We need to track those. That's why you should leave the junk food in your house and continue to behave in the same way, just so we can track it in a more objective and realistic way. So you're going to position yourself as a scientist. This is going to be your little experiment with yourself. You're not going to be judging yourself based on whatever you think you should be doing or not doing. You're going to be treating this as a scientist. If I ask you that if I throw a ball on the floor right now, will it gravitate and go up to the sky? No, because we have the law of gravity. So that is something that you know to be true. It's a fact. It doesn't matter how you feel about that. It is a fact. It is what it is. So this is how we're going to see your process. But then the next step is to observe what are the values that these emotions are coming from. And when I say values is, for example, when you see someone who prioritizes their health, they run every day, they eat really healthy, they hydrate their body, and like, I don't know how they do this because I don't have the time. They have the same time as you. The only thing that's different is that they value their health. That's one of their core values. Maybe you value family or alone time, so you always try to make space for that no matter what. So when we go and look at the values, those values are coming from your identity, and then we can continue to backtrack. Once you figure out those values and then it takes us to your identity, then we can start changing the behavior from there. The next thing that you will do is cast a vision of who you want to become. Who is this healthy version of you? What are her values? What are her beliefs about food and about your relationship with food? What are her beliefs about her emotions and what her emotions mean about her? These are all good questions and useful questions you should be asking yourself. And then now we can track the new behavior. What habits does this version of you has that maybe you aren't implementing right now? And start with one habit at a time. Remember that a habit is something that you do over and over again until it becomes such a part of you that you even forget that you were doing it, but you're still doing it. You know, it's not like you forgot and you stopped doing it. It's like you forget because it's just become a natural part of who you are. So this one habit can be something as simple as every time that you feel hungry at night, you question yourself if it's really that you're hungry, or is it that you're bored or sleepy, or you're just angry or stressed about the day. And then the habit that you will choose is maybe make yourself a cup of tea, this is what I do. You make yourself a cup of tea, and instead of staying scrolling on the internet so that you can continue to watch mukbangs and get hungry and then wake up and have a midnight snack and go through the whole thing all over again, you drink your tea, you wash your teeth, you put your cell phone to the side, and you go to bed. Even if you're like 1 hour just like trying to go to bed and actually sleep, then just stay there. You can put a guided meditation on or something. And you will do this and you will focus on this one day at a time. Don't try to think today what you're going to do tomorrow and the next week and what if you fail. No. Just focus one day at a time. This will make it so much easier for you because then it's easier for you to commit and not depend on feeling motivated or feeling like you need to believe in yourself. You don't need to believe in yourself to do this. You just need to do it one day at a time. Oh, today is the day. I'm going to do it. And you do it. Next day, you will worry about the next day. What if one day I don't continue to do this behavior? What if one day I'm like, F it, I'm going to do whatever I want. I'm so tired of this. That is your ego trying to go back to what is familiar, trying to go back to what is comfortable, to what you already know. Because in your brain, and this is how our brains are wired to think and to help us behave, is based on survival, based on a protection mechanism. So it's really normal that you feel that when you haven't done this or you haven't succeeded at this before, like you will fail or like you want to give up. If you just continue to see this as a scientist and you're like, that will happen, expect it. Expect that at some point you will feel like, oh my God, this is too much, because that's what's happened before and you've given up and you've gone back to those old ways of being and those old habits. The only difference is that this time, because you're changing it from your identity, you're going to make it permanent. You're creating those habits, you're creating those new values. Then when your ego screams and it's like, I want to go back to eating this, I want to go back, like, I know it's bad for me, but who cares? I know it. It's familiar. It's comfortable. Those are the moments that you have to be strong and remember yourself, the vision, not the motivation, the vision. The vision that you have is to be a healthy person. And that's not the goal. The vision is, how will your life be once you are healthy? Not what will happen once I get to that healthy goal. No. What are the benefits of being a healthy person? And what are the consequences if you stay the same? To recapitulate what I just said and what you just learned on the video is to first change from your identity. Then you change the values and then you change the behavior. Most people start with the behavior. They throw all the junk food out. They try to force themselves to be someone that they're not, and they go back to their old ways of being because they haven't changed their identity and their values. That's why you will go back and you create that vision of what are the values that you have as your future self. What is that identity that you have? What are those habits? And you start embodying that version of you. And this is a concept that I take from manifestation, and I work in sales and I've even applied this into sales too, because at the end of the day, what we all want to be sold on is the vision, is how our life will change when we have that result. So if you have any questions about this, I'll put the details on the description box below. If you haven't subscribed, remember to subscribe, and remember to always mind your comida.